All right, good morning, guys. Looks like we're met today with a quick sell-off. Wonder why that is. CNBC should have some headlines. Dow set to fall 100 points as biggest retail sales drop in a decade thwarts U.S.-China trade optimism. Failed on Thursday as the release of much weaker than expected retail sales data offset optimism around ongoing trade talks. That's what happened. Okay. Retail sales fell 1.2% in December, the biggest monthly drop since September 2009, according to the Commerce Department. Trump's demanding that California return $3.5 billion it received from the federal government on the disaster high-speed rail project. That's a dick move. $77 billion? That's ridiculous. Wow. Huge breakout on cyber. Morning, Alec. Got earnings? They had earnings. That's what you get on earnings sometimes. Wow, that is a big a big thing. You purchased cyber at 65? Beautiful. What? You're the luckiest man in the world. Um, I don't know, man. That's a good question. What do we got here? It's what a 50%, 50 something percent profit. Um, I guess need to see how it behaves. I mean, usually a breakout like that continues. I know the the market's kind of. Hold on. Huh. Okay. Hopefully my throat's good now. It doesn't sound like it though. Well, first thing to do is treat it like you would pretty much any other stock. So it's gonna. Where is it? Okay, there you go. If you want to if you want to take partial profits, you can. Sometimes these are those situations where you know you have a big profit, not used to it, don't know what to do. You can take some partial profits. Usually, though, you'll treat it as a breakout in many circumstances. But with the market kind of quasi topping here, maybe taking partial profits isn't the worst thing in the world. I don't know if I'd bank all of it. You see how this initial reaction happens to it. The last time it had that kind of reaction, that doesn't leave me warm and fuzzy. So if you want to bank some profits, yeah, I would probably bank some partial profits. You don't have to sell all right now. You have all of today to sell, and you have the rest of your life to sell. I don't think cyber is going to go anywhere. So if you looks like we're bouncing a little bit right now. So you know, let it play out a little bit. Let's see how it does throughout the day. See if it's going to have another one of these. What was this one? So 34.48 actual. That was a pretty good beat. This one 65.89. That's a good beat on about the same scale. And my face pop up. Nasdaq down about 0.5% here. Let's look at IBD for cyber. Oh, dropping further. '99 composite rating, #1 in their industry group, which is ranked number 13th. So this is definitely a leading stock. 99 EPS rating, 92% EPS change last quarter. Last 3 quarters, 59% average EPS change. Earnings surprise 77%. 3 years EPS growth rate's 13%. So growth is accelerating, which is what you ideally like to see. I don't see any problem with holding this thing. I mean, from the fundamental standpoint, technically, it's not doing too bad yet. Look at the volume. Looks pretty good. This one has had. So this is a blue sky breakout in cyber. Hopefully, it'll behave really well on the blue sky breakout. But with the market being a little tepid today, maybe they're gonna take some profits into that optimism. But if you want to, bank some profits. But I would definitely keep some, if not most of it. Yeah, so cyber is on my list here. It's at the top at about 14%. So that's a pretty good move up. The list is pretty tepid today. Everything is in the red. 0.5% or lower. What's lower today? Goose down 5%, Tesla down 2%, Square down 1 3/4. Off of kind of a little mini reversal day yesterday. Consolidation day. Yeah, another sell-off towards the 200 with some weak retail sales. I don't think that's what investors want to see. They don't want to see weak retail sales numbers. Not at all. Regardless of jobs and wages and stuff, retail sales are pretty much a decent indicator of economic strength. But CyberArk only has 3 red dots, and you need 8 to have it a no-go. So under 4 is excellent. So this is cyber is an excellent company in terms of fundamentals. Yeah, so another tip is to wait to the end of the day to make your trading decisions. That'll usually kind of show you the general next direction, or at least the impetus of what the market wants to do with the stock. It's number 5 on the IBD 50. So, yeah, looks like good stuff there for CyberArk. All right, so I have Tesla down here. Goose giving up the most here at 7.5%. This is a very volatile stock. This thing moves up and down. Moving down on earnings doesn't give us what the estimate was, but earnings are 72. I'm not sure what the estimates were, but coming down to this, here's the 50-day moving average. So coming back down to the 200-day after breaching it. Tesla down here also at 2%, 2.25%. Trying to break that range right there. Not so good. Back down at 300. And now Square undercutting Tesla. That's not Square. That's iRobot. iRobot having a red day after stopping it, making a visit to highs. Pulling back a little bit. Come on, Square. Where are you? I'm going to click you eventually. So Square coming back. Didn't quite get to highs. Volume here was a little bit light, but it was working pretty good. And I guess that's a bit of a doji day. We'll see what the day ends up with. But the index is so far holding underneath the 200-day and squeezing between the 10. We have the 50-day way down here. So definitely we could have a pullback in the markets at this point. We haven't had one. We haven't had any pullbacks in the NASDAQ since we had our follow-through day, which was here. Little consolidation, no pullbacks. So pullback is probably due. Maybe a good place to reload some of these names that have kind of gotten away from some of us. I know I wish I was in some names and not in others, but what are you going to do? SIVB, interesting little handle situation there. Goose one-time thing? Could be. INS, Team. What's Team doing? Pulling back a little bit. What's VMware doing? The stock that, little guy that won't stop. Still won't stop. Up 0.25%. Still not selling off VMware. Look at that. It was negative for a minute. MJ's up here too. Lilly up here. Lilly, look at Lilly yesterday, guys. Look at that volume yesterday. I don't know where that came from, but that is some really good volume on Lilly closing towards the highs. I don't know what happened. Let's look at some news. Type 2 diabetes study meets primary endpoint, whatever that means. That was today. What was yesterday? There was nothing yesterday. Of course there was nothing yesterday. They got all the news yesterday. Bought it yesterday so they could sell it today. Trial adds evidence to long-term safety profile of Trajenta. Meets primary endpoint of non-infectory compared to Glimepiride. I've been saying that the whole time, guys. Been saying that the whole time. Boehringer Ingelheim trial of Trajenta meets primary endpoint. I've been talking about that for weeks. What's up here towards the top? Cyber, Generac. So Generac's an interesting one. This is a generator company. I don't think they do a bunch of smaller generators, but they do large generators. I used to have some friends that used to work for Generac. Big guy. Oh, they had earnings today. 37.42 actual, so they beat a little bit, about 10-15%. Amazon, or that's Amarin. Never mind, not Amazon. You can look at Amazon too. Real Doctor. Dude, that would be a great little comedy show. Little comedy channel, Real Doctor. So I used to want to develop this app. All it does, it's like WebMD, but just for your phone. And all it does is it would type in your symptoms, and the result was you have AIDS. No matter what you typed in. Or it would ask some more qualifying questions, and it would just give you the most horrible outcomes imaginable. Well, based on this, and blah, 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 we see you have Ebola. You have AIDS. You've got it's. Anyway, I thought I was laughing. I was on the floor for a little bit. That was pretty good. Make that happen, Eli. All right, got some more green on the board here. Before we had a little bit of green up here. Now it's lots of green. So we're getting a little bit of bounces. Starbucks getting back to positive territory or close to it. You don't like my idea, Eli? It's messed up, man. You're supposed to support my dreams and my visions. Thought you were my friend. Garmin. What's Garmin doing? Yesterday had a decent day. Or no, that wasn't yesterday. That was the day before yesterday. Yesterday, that was also a decent day, as a matter of fact. Bounced back a little bit. Volume was low on the red days. That's actually pretty ideal. NASDAQ looks like it's pulling back as well. It could just be a dead cat bounce. We'll have to wait and see. MJ, Team, INS. See what INS is doing. Still looking like it wants to break down after its big run up to 26. It's probably done. Could be done after that one. We'll have to see. But consolidating here, kind of like INSG was after its pop. INSG now currently lower. I tell you, I got greedy on my INSG trade. I got greedy on this one. Yeah, I didn't trade this one very well. Super small trade, but so I bought it here. I bought it right there, and up at the top I was up like 240%. And it was a super trade. I didn't sell. And I'm not sure why. I can't actually even explain why. Even looking back, I can't explain why I didn't sell. Tracking this the whole time, expecting it to break down, didn't sell. And now I'm up like 18% in the trade now, when the stock is up more than 18%, 27%. So got to sell those options quick, guys. Yeah, so that's a mishandled trade. I was looking at that one yesterday, kind of puzzled. I'm like, really? How does that work? Yeah, it's my smallest trade on my account, 0.64% of the portfolio. But it's just funny. I don't know. I got greedy, I guess. And then I've been buying things for June. This is my only March option, so I think I had a lot more time. Thought it would go a little higher, but I guess it was just greed, and I knew it was a small trade, so I didn't take it seriously. I still have the damn thing. It's just weird. I don't have a great explanation. Like, I've got Square until June. I've got a while to let Square work. I'm up decently in Square. Starbucks, I'm up like 118%, but it's still going, so I don't think there's a reason to sell that one. That one still looks okay. Yeah, that's just weird. I don't think I may practice with an alternative strategy of you and I talked a little bit about this, but yeah, right, up 100%. You'd think, right? You'd think that'd be a good reason to sell. Just do that enough times, you're good to go. Yeah, I could sell right there on Starbucks. I'd be out, and that's only 1.86% of my account. So I'm in E-Trade now. I don't know if I know we talked about this a while back, Eli, but what's up, Blair? I was trading on ShareBuilder, and then they sold their customers like me to E-Trade because I'm a cow. So they sold this cow to E-Trade. Now I'm in E-Trade, and they give you this cool percentage of your portfolio thing, which I'm like, oh, that's nice. And so now I get to view things in some percentage type of basis, which is nice. And so yeah, that's good. So I get to see percentage wise. And I can sell options, which I don't do a lot of, but yeah, I don't know. So maybe I sell Starbucks here. Maybe I just sell it. I've got it till June. So I've got plenty of time for Starbucks to do something. Could still keep going. Just broke out of the base, although, tepid volume is what it is. So looks like NASDAQ here. I don't know if it's a dead cat bounce or what, but it's just chopping around towards these opening ranges. MJ down 0.6%. So yesterday was interesting with MJ, and I was kind of looking at the volume yesterday because I noticed this. Is that look at how high the volume was from the day before, but there's no upward price progression. So trying to figure out where this thing, where the volume came in on this thing. Was it selling? Was it buying? So you have your opening bar, and then you have this high volume bar right there, which is a selling bar, but it closes up in the top, 60+% of the range. So that could also be a support bar. So a little bit of support down there. So it looks like it's being supported on MJ. It's just a little weird to have that much volume with no upward price progression. A little bit strange. So we may see a pullback here in MJ. That's always possible. All right, see what's going up today. So now the seller's coming back a little bit. You can see the red creeping into the top of my screen. Cyber's still up 14%. And Cyber doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. Not selling off immediately is a good sign. But you wait to the end of the day really to see what the market wants to do with you. NIO. Going to click through a few of these. Micron coming back. Having a positive day today, bucking the market trend up 1.63%. That's not bad. CLR, EPAM. EPAM. Wow, EPAM. Off to the races with you and your double bottom. There's your breakout point. There's potentially, that's not quite 40% above volume. That's about 33% above on the breakout, but you can't be mad at the results. Already up 10.5% on EPAM. Been looking for some kind of pullback, not necessarily pullback, but some little consolidation buys. Paycom's one of them. Paycom's a consolidation buy that I've been considering. Yeah, I was thinking of trying to buy some options strictly for the sole purpose of selling them up between 20 and 50%. We talked a little bit about that last time, but I think stocks that have already broken out, that are consolidating, I think that should be the bread and butter for that strategy. And I figure you go out 30 days. You don't want to go out super far. In the March 170 was 960 yesterday. So they're $10 today. Should have bought yesterday on the close while Paycom was lower. Because that was kind of my whole thing, is that, okay, you wait for these consolidations. And I back-tested a couple of them, but it's always hard just to back-test for 5 minutes. You got to do a little bit more work. Paycom, so that's a $1,000 option right there. Could do one of those on Paycom. You know, I was looking at that yesterday. I may as well just take the trade as it's kind of rolling through, bucking the market. Huh? Market orders in restricted cash accounts are prevented unless the security has traded during regular market hours. We're 19 minutes into regular market hours. You may enter a limit order or wait until the market begins trading during regular market hours. We're going to have a talk. We're going to have a talk. Hate all these stupid rules they put on stuff. Hold on, guys. All right. So I think I'm back. We'll see. Unless James pulls me away again. So Paycom going higher here today. Out of a little consolidation. I just bought that, actually. And they were kind of annoying me a little bit with their order thing. They have a 2-second guarantee. What's that? You're going to execute within 2 seconds, or it's placed within 2 seconds? I'll have to research that a little bit. Oh, look at that. They show you the second it was ordered and executed. Technology's awesome, man. That's a bouncy ball, James. Oh, not on the carpet. The carpet eats up the bounce. So Paycom doing pretty good right there. Lily coming back. Yeah, Lily I thought yesterday was really interesting with its volume signature. Just tons of volume yesterday. Tons of volume. That's like double average volume. That's over double average volume. So that's pretty good. Maybe that'll get it out of its little malaise here. Maybe even break it out of its channel. I think that would be good if it could do that. We'll see if it will/can. Garmin positive, Starbucks. Both of these are even, essentially. Twitter, INS, NetEase. NetEase hasn't really run as good. MJ down some. NBEV down 1.4. Square down 1.7 still. Hasn't really bounced back much. In the overnight session, I wonder why Square dropped. Is that the same consumer numbers? Empowering the little guy, his investing theme. Well, that's why Square's on there. No major reason why Square should be down. Or sell off, I guess. Yes, James?
Can I play my learning game?
NASDAQ chopping around down here, not pulling back, not the action I'd like to see, but a little bit of buying down here on the pullback, supported by the 10-day, which has been so far. Hold on, guys. All right, I'm back. What's up, Justin? Paycom rocking today up 2.14%. Paycom looking like it may be the winner of the day if it continues like that. And the NASDAQ's coming back. Very nice. Very, very nice. VMW still rocking. This thing just won't stop. Even on its down days, it closes at the high. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight days closing towards the high. Well, minus that one. VMware. Good job, VMware. Already hit my target. Yep, already up 23%. Eclipsed my target of 20%. This one went. Of course, it broke out once, failed. Thanks, VMware. See right there. Good breakout volume, too, on earnings day. Of course, that's kind of expected. And then a bit of a distribution. And then for, is that a $26 dividend? How the hell do you have a $26 dividend? Is that a one-time? And how did I not know about that? I'd have bought some shares of VMware for free $26 and appreciated 20%. What the hell? That's a $26 dividend on a $110 stock, $120 stock. That's crazy. It's a 20% dividend. How did I miss that? VMW special dividend. Wow, they gave out $11 billion. The payment date for the previously announced special distribution is the 28th of December. Holy crap. That's a huge dividend. What are some other special dividends coming out? That's crazy. So Paycom 2.23%, AMRN coming back 2%. This is another one I think could be good for a bit of a bounce play. You got 9% up here towards the highs, 8% up here towards the recent highs. So if this is our pullback in the market, if we're going to start bouncing, I don't know if we are, but you may want to jump in on some of these if you haven't already. VMware just skyrocketing, 1.32% again today. We've had this on two different trend lines. Here on this one, which got chopped around, this one's been pretty clear. Pretty clear break there at about 11%. But this is way too high to chase at this stage. You always run the risk of these coming down on you. Paycom just coming out of a little consolidation. I think looks pretty good. I like Paycom over VMware right there. Starbucks 0.32%, poking its head into new highs. Still nothing wrong with this one. Eli Lilly, poking his head, also positive. Huh? How's it positive showing a red candle? That's a little strange. Not quite sure what's going on here. Are you just not caught up or what? VMware selling off today. 0.55%. What does it say? 0.05%. That's weird. Something's weird. Eli Lilly is just weird. That's a strange one right there. It's like NASDAQ trying to poke its head out. Let's see if that'll hold. Cyber's doing great up here. I wouldn't, Alec. So far I'm not really mad at Cyber on any front. I mean, it's a good fundamental. It's a fundamentally sound company. Has some good volume. It's in clear blue sky breakout territory. If you haven't sold already, I don't really know if I would. I'll just let it. Let it consolidate the day, see what the day looks like, and if it holds up here nicely, you're probably going to see expanded gains. So I don't know why I didn't notice this earlier, but 100 is a big psychological number when a stock breaks $100 for the first time. That's usually it's a barrier or a floor. It's a pivot point in one direction or the other. So if it maintains below 100, you may want to try to distribute some of it. But if it can go above 100 sometime, today would be best because it has momentum today. And if it can hold above 100, that would be better. But sometimes it'll chop around. But in a lot of circumstances, it'll usually obey that line of 100. Jesse Livermore calls it the rule. What's he called? The rule of round numbers or something like that. I forget exactly what it is, but he says 100, 200, 300. I think the difference today is we have so many stocks in the high hundreds and thousands that rule may be diminishing a little bit in terms of its ultimate psychological whatever. The fact that we've seen stocks upwards of $300, $400, $500, $600 regularly these days. I mean, Warren Buffett really is the one that started that with his company with $311,000 per share. Everybody wants to be like Warren Buffett. Everybody used to split their stock all the time, and then now everybody wants to have these really high share prices. It's kind of an ego thing. Whether it's healthy or not is a different issue, but it does keep some people from buying the stocks that normally would be able to afford the stocks. Anyway. So Cyber doing pretty good. I mean, what else is up here? We got UBNT, which broke out the other day, still going higher. Many green days in a row here on UBNT. This market run is not done by any stretch. If you look at these leaders that are just rocketing higher, UBNT being one of them. I mean, look at that thing. Overall, it was looking pretty choppy throughout here. I remember looking at back in the day, wanting to trade it, and I didn't buy any of this because it was just all over the place. Settled down pretty nicely and just continues going higher. So this may be one to try to buy if it ever reaches the 50-day moving average again, which is way down here. It's going to be a little bit. Talking a few weeks at a minimum. All right, let's go from the top down, then I'm going to get out of here, guys. Cyber doing really good today. Generac about to cross a longer-term trend line, potentially, after earnings. And earnings were a little bit better than estimated. So that's good. Gapping up today. We'll see what the day has in store for Generac. But we're in the middle of a pretty nasty winter, and we'll be coming out of that in a couple of months. I'm not sure if there's any seasonality to Generac. But you can see there February goes into sell-off. You can see here February goes into a sell-off. There may be some seasonality, but I don't know. Looks like they run up. It runs up before wintertime. And this one started selling off in December. This one started selling off in late October. And this one didn't sell off at all in 2016. Anyway, Generac looking pretty good overall, though. Whoops. Very large cup pattern. Wow. Didn't quite notice that. We'll see if that will want to break out to all-time highs. This could be a huge cup and handle, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But interesting in Generac right there. It may be worth looking into. Let me get myself a note. All right, making a note of that. Anyone watching NVIDIA? We haven't looked at NVIDIA. Let's take a look. NVIDIA lower. No notification today, Ted? Really? That's weird. No, I haven't really looked at NVIDIA lately. I think, I mean, wow, that's a tremendous. It's dropped about 50%. And it looks like it has a little mini inverted head and shoulders earnings today on NVIDIA. If you want to gamble, and it would be a gamble, ladies and gentlemen, but that is an inverted head and shoulders in NVIDIA. You're probably going to pay up the nose for options if you want to do options, but yeah, so look at that at the money call. You're looking at least an 8% rise to break even at 150. No, actually, I guess we're at 155, so you got a $5 premium. So you're only looking at about a 3 or 4% rise to break even on these options. But on the chart itself, you got an inverted head and shoulders, which I don't know. I don't think that's too bad of a chart pattern, actually. That's pretty amazing, as a matter of fact. A higher low here. Good volume at that bottom, really kind of sustaining us. I don't know why that gap. That was 128. This probably has a ton of news. Probably won't even get to 128. Oh, 129. We won't get to 128. So I don't know what caused that gap, but we're coming back. We have earnings. What was this one? 184 estimate, so they missed earnings here. They basically met earnings there. They beat earnings there pretty good by about a quarter. And they beat there by about 50 cents. So 194, 184. So let's see, 184 was, let's not hate ourselves and do a little bit, do like that. Okay, so 184 was Q4 last year, and that was up from 133. We were from 194 to 101, so that was about a 100% increase quarter over quarter. And this one, not quite a 100% increase. You're looking at about a 60% increase. And so this one, they don't tell us any estimates, which is odd for NVIDIA. You think they would have that? You think they would have that on NVIDIA? Let's look at the weekly chart. We have, I mean, it's pretty beaten down. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing bounces up. Whether you put money into that is a different issue. Let's go see what IBD has to say about NVIDIA. Oh, there we go. Sorry, drew a blank for a second. But yeah, inverted head and shoulders, even on the weekly chart, that's a pretty interesting one. So the relative strength rating is 6. It's outperforming 6% of stocks, so that's not very good. Let's take a look at it here. Composite rating of 69, which isn't very great either. Let's go to the stock checkup. With BTC mining down, it has been beaten down. Well, NVIDIA has nothing to do with BTC mining. As a matter of fact, it would be Ethereum mining of other altcoins that use I forget the algorithmic terms. But the ASIC miners like Bitmain, that's the company in China that made all the Bitcoin money, basically. All right, so you got 69 composite rating in NVIDIA. It's ranked 18th in chip stocks. You got AVGO, Mellanox. Haven't seen that name in a while. And XLNX we've seen up here. Those are rounding out the top ones. EPS rating, they're number 2 behind Mellanox. 32 and number 1 in SMR rating. So I don't know why they're 69 isn't horrible, but really not good. You want above 85 in the composite rating, I believe is what it is. So 32% EPS change last quarter, 91% average last 3 quarters average EPS growth. You got some negative current stuff lately, which is why it's just destroyed. 3 years EPS growth rate of 101%. Oh, really? That's cool, Justin. Did he get any of that sweet Ethereum money? EPS estimate change for current quarters, 42% is the estimate. That would be good. 21% sales. All these are green. ROE 44. That's excellent. Pre-tax margin, excellent. Relative strength of 6, which is horrible. I'm not sure why I won't even calculate that number, nor that one. That's a little weird. No quarters of increasing fund ownership, although we do see some high volume action down here. Good for him. Did he sell? When did he sell? Hopefully he sold. On report, action investing plan. Let's click on this one for a minute. Why can't I click? There we go. Hopefully sold sub of 8. I'll say north of $600. I'll give them that. I'll say hopefully he sold north of $600. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Good. Nvidia reports following big drop in the Nvidia stock. They don't do head and shoulders patterns, by the way. A sharp decline in demand for cryptocurrencies hurt the company during the quarter. Graphics card from Nvidia and others are used to process transactions for Bitcoin and other digital assets. They don't know what they're talking about either. Price of Bitcoin has crashed over the past year. Found support at the 50-day line, but the Nvidia stock has nearly been cut in half since October. At that time, Nvidia reached all-time high. Blah, blah, blah. Analysts expect Nvidia earnings per share for the fourth quarter to plunge 56% to 75 cents. Wow. Revenue is expecting to drop 19%. Definitely cryptocurrency related. Global economy decelerated sharply, particularly in China, hurting demand. The plunge rippled through the demand from the gaming device makers who use graphic cards to make the visual display in PC games more precise and more fluid. The skid in the economy also slowed deal making in the company's data center business. Customers use NVIDIA graphics processing units for high performance computing, AI, and cloud services. Oh, so they actually, they just, I didn't know they were in that cloud business. I guess it makes sense if you can do it. So yeah, it's hard to buy something that is in the middle of a decline like that. Even fundamentally, they're telling you, look, our earnings are going to plunge 56%. Our revenue is going to drop 20%. It's difficult to buy that, even if you've got a nice head and shoulders pattern. I don't know. Don't quite know how I feel about that one. It's hard to deny the pattern, though. I do like this volume. That's really great volume right there. And then it just stops on a dime and reverses up higher. I mean, that's pretty good. You could have an island bottom here where we gap up here to 190, and that would create an island bottom down here in NVIDIA. And then you'd basically be off to the races. In theory, I mean, in theory. You know what? You know what? I don't have to... shoot. Anyway, guys, go get your copy of Encyclopedia... Chart Pattern Encyclopedia by Bulkowski and look up island bottom statistics. Look them up, and could have one in VMware with tomorrow starting it. So if this is something you're interested in, maybe go ahead and take a small position for earnings. But I don't know. I don't think I have enough cash left for that. Yeah, definitely not. I just bought Paycom. So anyway, all right, guys, I got to get out of here. Have a good day. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe out there.